Hello, Larissa. How are you? Is everything okay?
Hello, teacher. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Great. That's great to know. So let's start with today's practice, Larissa. I think with you, last week we practiced reading. Is that correct, Larissa? Did we read something last week? Or was it a
Mm,
video? Which one did you choose
uh,
last week?
yes, it was a text.
Okay, good. So it was one of these articles, right? So good. So it means that this week, Larissa, instead of an article, we're going to work with a listening exercise. And it's going to be this one, all right? It's going to be only listening, no video and anything like that, to practice, all right, our listening skills and to try to imitate the accent. So the logic is the same, please, Larissa. We're going to listen to this some seconds. I'm going to stop and try to identify as much words and as much information as you can. All right?
Okay.
Good. So let's listen to this, please. And I'm going to share again because I'm not sharing the sound of the computer. Okay, now let's listen.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English. I'm Neil. This is the program where in just 6 minutes we discuss an interesting topic and teach some related English vocabulary. And joining me to do this is Rob.
Hello. Sorry, Neil. How long did you say this program is?
6 minutes. It's 6 Minute English, Rob.
Right, okay. Sorry, what's your name again?
Neil. My name's Neil, Rob. What's happened to your memory?
Sorry, Neil. Too many things on my mind. It's affecting my short-term memory. But what I can remember is that in this program we're talking about improving our memory.
Okay, up to that part, that's kind of the introduction, all right, to this program. And as you can see, there are two people interacting, right? They are asking questions, answering questions. But let's try to understand that, please, Larissa. What can you tell me about that first part? What were you able to understand?
It's a program to where I hear topic to practice English.
Correct,
And
yes. It is a
and the
program, right?
during yes, and the
Yeah,
during is 6 minutes.
good, right? So to practice English, and actually, that's going to be the name of the program, right? The program's name is 6 Minute English, right? Good. Now, what's happening? What is the interaction? What is one of the people asking to the other person, Larissa? What are they talking about in general?
Mm, he forgot what the others say. He he doesn't have a good memory.
Okay, very good. And related to that, then, what is the topic of this program, then, Larissa? Right? This program teaches English. The name of the program is 6 Minute English. One of the hosts, right, or one of the presentators forgot the other presentator's name or information, right? But related to that, what is then the topic of this program, Larissa? What do you say?
Mm, Practice the memory.
All right, we're close. Practicing, or we're going to listen to that one more time.
It's affecting my short-term memory. But what I can remember is that in this program we're talking about improving our memory.
So close to that one, right? So we're going to be talking about what? Improving our memory, right? Improving our memory. Good. Do you remember what are the names of these presentators, of these people, Larissa?
Neil and the
Good.
other not.
All right, let's pay attention to the other one. It's good, right? Neil is one of them. Let's listen to the other one's name.
What's your name again?
Neil. My name's Neil, Rob. What's
At the end of that
Oh,
idea, right? Yes, one
Neil
more
and
time,
Rob.
Larissa. And Rob, yes, correct, right? Neil and Rob. So let's listen. Now we're going to continue, all right? There's not a lot of important information there, Larissa, but again, it's important to get those details. So good. Two people, they are going to talk about improving our memory, right? So let's pay attention to those details, and you're going to tell me more information about the memory, Larissa. So here we go.
Ways to improve it, but also to stop it. Way is an important function of our brains, and scientists are always looking at ways to improve it, but also to stop it deteriorating or becoming worse.
Yes. And we all know that memories, that's the noun for things we remember from the past, are nice to have, but also important for remembering who people are, where things are kept, and how things look.
Soon we'll be discussing a new idea for improving your memory, but not before I've set today's quiz question. There are many ways we can improve our memory, but one way is through the type of food we eat. According to the BBC Food website, which type of food supports good memory function? Is it A, eggs, B, spinach, or C, bananas?
Okay, now let's try to analyze up to this part, Larissa. They had a short conversation and then they asked one question, right, with some options. But what can you tell me about the second part?
Oh, it was a little difficult.
Okay,
And the accent is different, like British, right?
yes, that's correct. This is from England, so this is a British accent. Correct. So let's do something, Larissa, as it is true what you're saying. We're going to pay attention only to the first part one more time, and I'm
Okay.
going to stop after some seconds and try to get the main words after that part, okay, so that we get used to this accent. Okay,
Okay.
so here we go.
Is an important function of our brains, and scientists are always looking at ways to improve it, but
Okay, so we can try to understand some words over there. One more time.
is an important function of our brains, and scientists are always looking at ways to improve it.
So only that part, Larissa. What can you tell me about that short part? What words can you identify or listen to?
The science mm, improve a specific function of the brain.
Good, correct. And remember, this is going to make it even easier to identify. Instead of U in function, it's going to be more like a function.
And
Right,
function.
function. Good. Okay, good. So let's pay attention one more time, and I'm going to repeat the words this time, but you're good. All those words were mentioned. We're going to organize that idea.
We are, and I think you might find it quite useful. Storing information is an important function of our brain.
Okay, so that's something that you didn't listen to, Larissa, because I didn't play that part, but they say storing what? We're going to go back again.
Is an important function of our brain. We are, and I think you might find it quite useful. Storing information.
Okay, storing information, saving information, right? Keeping information, keeping memories in your head is an important function, right?
Is an important function of our brains.
Right? It's like a function in our brains, right? Do you remember what's the brain or what's a brain, Larissa?
Yes.
Good. How can you define what is a brain? What is a word or words that you can use to explain what the brain is, Larissa?
Brain is we have in the head.
Correct. You can use it this, right? You can say it's an organ that we have in our heads, right? It's an organ that we have in our heads. Good. That's a brain. Correct. Let's keep going.
Scientists are always looking at ways to.
Okay, and scientists. So science is ciencia, and scientist means científicos, right? So scientists are always doing what?
Ways to improve it.
Okay, trying to find or looking for ways. Sorry.
Ways to improve it.
Okay, so scientists are looking for ways to improve our brains, our memory.
But also to stop it deteriorating.
But also, what words do you listen at the end in that part, Larissa? But also what?
ways to improve it, but also to stop it deteriorating or
In that part, in that last part.
To stop the theory.
Okay, little by little, I have to stop it. Then, what do you think you say deteriorarse in English? How do you say that?
Deteriorate. Something like
Ah, good. Very close to that one. It's going to be deteriorating. Okay, deteriorating. So let's listen one more time.
ways to improve it, but also to stop it deteriorating or
Okay, deteriorating, deteriorating, deteriorating. So scientists, right? Scientists, they want to find ways to improve our memory and to stop it deteriorating, right? Deteriorating. So they want to take care of our brains, right? But up to that part, I have then a question for you, Larissa. How good do you believe that your memory is, Larissa, and why?
Mm, I have uh, how I say in English, pictures memory.
One more time, what type of memory?
Pictures memory.
You're talking about images, like the visual things, right?
Yes, like that.
So
Like
it's
in
better if you say
Spanish is memoria fotográfica, maybe.
good. You can say perhaps a visual memory. Okay, visual memory.
Okay.
Right, good. And why? Why do you believe that you have a visual memory?
Because I remember place where mm, I been.
Correct, where I've been, it's correct.
That um, and think what I did maybe.
All right, very good. So in that part, I have one question also, Larissa. How do you believe that you can improve your memory? For example, sometimes we are not good at remembering numbers, or we are not good at remembering dates or important information or names, right? So what can one do, Larissa, to improve their memory? How can you improve your memory?
Mm, mm, I to improve. Mm, I don't know. Maybe I know. I don't know.
All right, so here, for example, to help you out, one way is going to be with this question. Let's listen to the question to finish now, Larissa, and you're going to tell me what they are suggesting. So only the question.
through the type of food we eat. There are many ways we can improve our memory, but one way is through the type of food we eat. According to the BBC Food website, which type of food supports good memory function? Is it A, eggs, B, spinach, or C, bananas?
So according to that part, Larissa, what is something that can help you improve your memory?
Eating special food like eggs and bananas.
Okay, good. Exactly, right? So diet, right? Your diet is going to be related to how you can improve your memory, right? Perhaps you can do activities, but also a good diet is going to help you improve your memory and keep it functioning properly, right? You mentioned two. There is one more. What are the two types of food that you mentioned, Larissa? One more time, please.
Mm,
You said eggs and what more?
Bananas.
And bananas. There's one more. Let's try to listen to that one more.
Okay.
Which type of food supports good memory function? Is it A, eggs, B, spinach, or C, bananas?
So what is the other one?
Spinach.
Spinach, right? Sometimes this is weird, Larissa. It's okay if you say spinach, but it's also possible to say like spinach, right? Spinach, and we know what we're talking about, right? Spinach. So, what do you think is the correct option, Larissa? Because actually, that's a question. Which one of those three, Larissa? Which one of those three is the one that helps improving your memory? What do you say? What do you believe?
I think a spinach.
All right, good. So let's try to save that information. All right, we're going to finish here, Larissa. We're going to continue working on this listening exercise on Thursday. And on Thursday, we're going to keep going and we're going to listen to the answer. All right, I want to know if you have any questions before going on, Larissa. Let me know, please.
No, teacher. I don't
All
have.
right. Very good. So again, as always, I'm going to ask you to please fill out today's survey, and that's it for today. All right. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. All right. Now I'm with you, Paola. How are you, Paola? Is everything okay?
Hi, teacher. Yes.
Great. That's good to know, Paola. So today we have something different with you. Last week we practiced with a video, right? It means we practice a little bit of listening or trying to have a conversation about it, right? So it means that today with you, we are going to have this article, okay? This is an article from the BBC, and it's going to be to practice reading and to also check how your pronunciation is going. All right, it's going to be like this. I'm going to ask you to read, as I do right in class, one part, and we are going to understand that part together. So let's begin with this one, please, Paola. Let's read the headline of this article.
Okay. How waste food can reduce our reliance on natural gas?
Okay, thank you very much. So how can you explain this headline in your own words, Paola? And what is the article going to be about just by reading this headline? What do you say?
Teacher, what is reliance?
All right, reliance. I can explain those words, but let's try to do something. Reliance is going to be, this I'm going to give you the meaning, is to trust on something, all right, or to trust something, or when you are dependent on something.
Okay.
All right, when you are dependent on something. So how can you explain this one?
Food can reduce. Well, I think is about that people nowadays waste the food. So many restaurants of people who works to produce this food use natural gas. So for to create this food, okay.
Let's connect that idea, Paola. You're doing a good process over there, but let's understand that some words. All right. Before that, only one. The explanation was good. Only one mistake, right? Remember, if you say for two, and then create, that's going to be a big mistake, right? So only for creating or to create, right? To create or to produce. It's better if you say produce. right? Because instead of creating the food, you can say to produce, right? So to produce the food, you use natural gas and so on and so forth, right? But let's understand something here. For example, waste can be a verb, right? To waste. You can waste money, you can waste food, right? But in this case, if we analyze, waste is not a verb, but waste is a noun, is waste food. So we're talking about one kind of food, that is the leftover, okay, the residues. It's the residue of the food. So this is my question then, Paula. How can we use the waste? Okay, how can we use the waste? How can we use the leftovers? How can we use the residues to reduce our reliance on natural gas? What do you say?
Mm, I don't know, teacher.
Right? It's okay. Again, we can guess, but the idea is, Paola, here again, of course, we don't know about this article. We're going to learn about this article together, all right? But the main idea here, Paola, again, is at least trying to understand this one. So you have it, this one, right? So you know that waste food is one type of food, is the foods that is the residues, right? That we don't eat. And it means that we can use this type of food in a certain way to reduce our dependence on natural gas. It means that perhaps, right, and this can be a hypothesis, Paola, we're going to read about that. Perhaps we can use this to produce energy, all right, because you know sometimes you can use a lot of things to produce energy. And one of those things can be waste food. All right, so let's have that in mind. Waste food, reliance, okay, dependence, and natural gas. All right, let's keep going. We're going to get more information here, Paola. Let's read this one over here, please.
As gas price hit record highs, one renewably, one renewably alternative to fossil fuel gas comes from food waste, farm sludge, and sewage. I don't know how to pronounce the last word.
Good. We're going to work that one again. I think it was good. This one was good, Paola. We're going to practice one more time. This one, remember, price is singular, so it's going to be plural. How is this in plural?
Prices.
The price is good. Very good. This one is going to be renewable. Okay, renewable. Let's repeat that one, please.
Renewable.
Renewable, exactly, right? Renovable. Then you have sludge. This is more like Paola, sludge.
Sludge.
And this is close to what you said, Paola. I think it was good. Sewage. Sewage.
Sewage.
Good. So all of these words, and I'm going to show you, Paola, once again, let me delete everything. All of these words are related. What is food waste? Food waste is the residue, right? Is the residue of food. Farm sludge is also one type of residue or one type of material that you use in farms to grow things. Okay, residues from something. And sewage, right? Sewage is the residual water, right? All the water that is in the sewers, all the water that is with a lot of dirty things, right? After you go to the bathroom, and that's the sewage, right? The sewage is residual water. So everything is a residue, right? Food waste, a residue, farm sludge, a residue, and sewage, residual water. So they are saying something related to this. And what is that? With that explanation, Paula, how can you explain? What are they stating in this part? How can we use, not perhaps how, but what are they saying about these three elements, Paola? What do you say?
Mm. Um, you can produce a type of gas to this type of things, the food waste, farm sludge, and sewage.
Sewage, good sewage. It is correct, right? And that's why they say, Paola, they use these words, right? That's why food waste, farm sludge, and sewage, those are an alternative, okay? One renewable alternative, so it's very good, to fossil fuel, right? What's fossil fuel? It's the natural gas, the gasoline, the diesel, right? Those are fossil fuels. So this is an alternative to not depend on natural gas. All right, and again, the main idea here, again, Paul, is to get these new words. So I think important words here, and that we can use in any context, Paula, are, for example, reliance is a very common word. All right, you use this not only to talk about energy, right? You use reliance every time. What is the verb of reliance, Paula? What do you say? How do you say depender or confiar as a verb?
Mm. 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 Depend. Mm.
Depend is also going to be like to depend on something. I depend on something, that's correct. But to use the same word is going to be rely, but with Y. Okay, instead of I, you use Y. Rely means to trust, to depend on something. Okay, for example, I can say this, Paula. I rely on you to do this together. All right, so I depend on you. I trust you to do it. So the verb for reliance is rely. Okay, you rely on someone or you rely on something. Okay, and the noun is reliance. All right, that's one word. The other word is going to be renewable. That is very important. Okay, renewable, very important. And sewage. That is also very common in a lot of conversations. All right, but let's keep going. Let me know, please, if you have any questions about words in this part, Paula. Let me know, please.
No, it's okay, teacher.
All right, let's only read one more, and we're going to see only the words that are hard to get. Let's read this one to finish today, please.
Okay. At a large industrial facility not far southwest of Ireland's capital, Dublin, one man says old food waste and pig manure can help Europe fight climate change and reduce its reliance on Russia for energy. Billy Costello explains that decaying organic matter realizes biogas, realizes biogas, which firms like Green Generation, the one he directs, can collect and purify to produce methane or biomethane as it's called when it comes from such sources?
Sources. Very good. And again, right, I'm always going to give the, let's say, the feedback at the end. So to finish, we're only going to repeat these words, and I'm going to tell you the meaning of the hardest words that I could spot. All right. So this one, instead of O, it's going to be more like Dublin.
Dublin.
Dublin, good. Then this is going to be manure.
Manure.
Manure, good. This is like, let me say it this way, like abono. All right, big manure, abono. Then this one is like Europe.
Europe.
Good. Climate.
Climate.
Good. This one again, don't forget, right? How do you pronounce this one? One more time, Paola. To depend on something.
Reliance.
Reliance, good. It is very good, right? The dependence on, the reliance on. Then this is more like decaying.
Decayed.
Decaying, exactly. Good.
Okay.
Decaying es algo que se va descomponiendo, deshaciendo. All right. So decaying organic matter, materia orgánica descompuesta o en descomposición. All right. This is releases. Releases.
Releases.
And to release, creo que vimos esto. ¿Te acuerdas de el ejemplo de las hormonas en el cuerpo? It's like liberar. Okay, liberar. So it releases biogas. Okay, it produces biogas. And this is going to be, if this is biogas, this is going to be biomethane.
Methane?
Methane, biomethane. Let's repeat that one, please.
Biomethane.
Great. Okay, so in other words, and to finish, Paola, they are saying that we can use food waste, farm sludge, and sewage to create energy. Why? Because this organic matter can produce biogas, okay, biomethane, and that's going to produce energy and can replace natural gas. All right, we're going to continue working on this one on Thursday, Paola, but I want to know if you have any last questions about the words before finishing. Let me know, please.
No, it's okay, teacher.
All right, good. Again, if you have any questions, just in case, also on Thursday, let me know. We're going to try to take a look at this very rapidly, and then we go to the next one. All right? Good. Before leaving, please, Paola, down below is the survey. Answer to the questions, and then you may leave the conversation. Let me know when you answer the questions, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, teacher. See you.
Bye-bye. All right, now I'm with you, Wilson. Good evening, Wilson. How's everything going?
Good evening, teacher. I'm good.
Great. That's great to know, Wilson. So with you, we have to do something different, Wilson. If you remember, last week, we worked on an article, right? This is a different article, but instead of working this one, if you want, we can work this article next week. But today, we are going to work with this listening exercise, Wilson. All right? It's only going to be listening, not a video. I'm going to play it for some seconds, Wilson, and you're going to tell me everything you were able to understand. I'm going to ask you some questions like, for example, do you remember their names? Do you remember the topic? Or do you remember this and that? All right, so I'm going to ask for some details, but the main idea and the most important thing, Wilson, is to try to understand the information in a general way. All right, do you have any questions before starting this one? Let me know, please.
No, I don't.
So good. Let's listen. Again, only some seconds, and then I'm going to ask some questions. So here we go.
learningenglish.com. Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English. I'm Neil. This is the program where in just 6 minutes we discuss an interesting topic and teach some related English vocabulary. And joining me to do this is Rob.
Hello. Sorry, Neil. How long did you say this program is?
6 minutes. It's 6 Minute English, Rob.
Right, okay. Sorry, what's your name again?
Neil. My name's Neil, Rob. What's happened to your memory?
Sorry, Neil. Too many things on my mind. It's affecting my short-term memory. But what I can remember is that in this program, we're talking about improving our memory.
Okay, that's more or less like the first part. Let's say that the introduction, all right? As you can listen, perhaps there's like two people and they are talking about something and they are having like a conversation. They are interacting, right? And again,
Yes.
perhaps not details, but in general, Wilson, what can you tell me about this first part?
Those are two guys that both are in a program I think in the radio, and it calls 6 minutes because that's the time. ¿Cómo se dice durar?
You can say that's the time that the program lasts. Okay, to last is durar, or you can say also that's the duration of the program. Okay, to last or the duration.
Okay, that's the duration of that program, or I think it's a podcast. I don't know what is, but both gonna talk about vocabulary, English vocabulary, and one guy, his name is Neil, and the other is Rob.
Good. Everything is perfect so far, Wilson, right? Everything is correct. Yes, this can be considered a program, a podcast, I don't know, all right? Because this is something that you can find on BBC. This is part of BBC Learning English, all right? And they have this little program, all right, called, and they call it like that, right? The program, 6 Minute English. And you said, right? That's how much the program lasts. Or as you said, right? That's the duration of the program. Good. And yes, Neil and Rob. But what's the interaction? What's happening there, Wilson? They are asking some questions. What are those questions about? What is one telling to the other one? And what do you think is the topic of this specific program?
Oh, I heard something about um, English vocabulary. I think I don't know the other question. I was focused on their names.
All right, don't worry. Let's pay attention only. Pay attention to the type of questions. Tell me what's happening. I mean, they are having an interaction, but if you pay attention to the intonation, to the tone of the voice, something is happening. All right, so let's listen one more time.
Okay.
Sorry, Neil. How long did you say this program is?
6 minutes. It's 6 Minute English, Rob.
Right, okay. Sorry, what's your name again?
Neil. My name's Neil, Rob. What's happened to your memory?
Sorry, Neil. Too many things on my mind. It's affecting my short-term memory. But what I can remember is that in this program, we're talking about improving our memory.
All right, so in that part, what is the interaction that is going on there, Wilson? What's happening? What's happening to one of them? What questions is he asking? And what is the topic that he mentions at the end? What do you say?
First, Rob forgot the name of the program, and Neil explains that it calls 6 minutes because that's the duration. And later, Rob talks about the improving memory, and I don't know what's that mean.
Good, very good. Again, you have everything. So let's talk about improving. What is to improve? For example, right? If you, let's say, what you're doing here, Wilson. What are you doing here in this program? Yes, in Executive English. What are you doing here with your English? What do you want to do with your English? at executive English?
Uh, what I'm doing with English, or I didn't hear.
Or what is your purpose, right? You are in this program,
Okay,
right? You are at executive English, but for what purpose?
for me,
For you, yes. Well, and what's the purpose?
I want to learn English because that help me. That gonna help me to apply a master degree.
Okay,
And
good.
yeah,
Up to that part. So you say learn, but actually you already know English, right? You speak English, Wilson. So you don't want to learn perhaps. Yes, you want to learn, but more than learning, you want to improve. Okay, so what is the difference between learning and improve? You learn something new, but you improve over something that you already know. All right? To improve is to be better, to become better, or to better something. All right. So if you, for example, improve your English, it means that your English is going to be better. All
okay.
right.
Yes,
So
I heard that word in a stream. A streamer says improve my skills in a game, and
exactly. It means that he already has the skills, right? He's not going to learn new skills. He's going to better his skills. He's going to make his skills better.
uh,
Okay. And that happens with practice. All
yeah,
right. So it means that here, what is the topic of the program is going to be to improve your memory. Okay.
memories.
This is the topic. You have to improve your memory, how you remember things. Right. I don't know if you have any questions before going to the next part, Wilson. Let me know, please.
No, no, I don't have.
Good. So let's listen. In the next part now, Wilson, perhaps it's going to be a little bit difficult. I don't know how accustomed you are to British English, but now they are going to mention some things about improving your memory and the memory in general. Okay, so let's listen.
Is that in this program we're talking about improving our memory.
We are, and I think you might find it quite useful. Storing information is an important function of our brains, and scientists are always looking at ways to improve it, but also to stop it deteriorating or becoming worse.
Yes. And we all know that memories, that's the noun for things we remember from the past, are nice to have, but also important for remembering who people are, where things are kept, and how things look.
Soon we'll be discussing a new idea for improving your memory, but not before I've set today's quiz question. There are many ways we can improve our memory, but one way is through the type of food we eat. According to the BBC Food website, which type of food supports good memory function? Is it A, eggs, B, spinach, or C, bananas?
Okay, up to that part. Okay, it was the next part, and then they had this question at the end. But let's talk about everything, Wilson. What can you tell me about this next part? It was longer, but let's try to get some information. What can you tell me about it?
Oof, I can't get it. It was hard. I heard the last part that's about the food, about the what kind of food um, improve the memory, and Rob, I think, says eggs, spinach, something like that, and another one. That
Very good. It's
that's all.
okay. No, it's very good, Wilson. This is hard, okay? I know I told you. But again, here the objective is not to understand everything, but to get familiar, right? The more you get exposed to English, the faster you can learn, right? So you have to get exposed. Even though you don't understand, right? You know how the brain works. Sometimes you learn things or you are improving things, and sometimes you don't notice. Sometimes it's unconscious, right? But you are learning and you are memorizing some words, or at least your brain is getting used to some words. Okay, se está acostumbrando a algunas palabras. So let's listen then to the last part.
There are many ways we can improve our memory,
Good. There are many ways we can improve our memory,
but one way is through the type of food we
right? But one way, and this is what you said is correct, but one way is through the type of food we eat.
According to the BBC Food website,
Okay, according to the BBC right food website, we're going to now to listen to the three options.
which type of food supports good memory function? Is it A, eggs,
Right, you said that one, correct? Eggs,
B, spinach,
spinach. All right, spinach. Exactly.
or C, bananas?
Or bananas.
Bananas.
Right, bananas. So what do you think is the correct answer? Because those are options, Wilson. Which type of food do you think helps improving our memory? Eggs, spinach, or bananas? What do you say?
I think it's eggs.
Okay, okay, good. Because this one, Wilson, we're going to listen only one more. No, not the next part. We're going to go back a little bit, all right, to listen some of those words, but we're going to finish there. It means that on Thursday we are going to keep working on this listening exercise, Wilson, and at the end of the listening, they are going to give us the correct answer. All right, so it means it's going to be on Thursday. But now let's try to, I'm going to repeat the words that he is saying, and you're going to tell me if you have some questions. All right, that part before the question.
We are, and I think you might find it quite useful.
Okay, no, before.
It's affecting my short-term memory. But what I can remember is that in this program, we're talking about improving our memory.
Okay, from this part, right? That was the first part. Now, from this part.
We are, and I think you might find it quite useful.
Okay, we are, and I think you might find it quite useful. Okay, so this information is going to be useful for you and for improving your memory. Okay, that's in other words.
Storing information is
Storing information. What is to store? What is
Is a store? A store? Teacher? Okay.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me, Wilson?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying, right, to store, the verb means to accumulate information in a memory, in a storage. Okay. And a storage is a space in which you save information.
Okay.
Okay. So storing information, the action of saving information, that's what he's saying, right?
an important function of our brains.
That storing information is an important function of our brain, all right, for your brain, in your brain.
And scientists are always looking at ways to improve it, but
Okay, and scientists, right, people who work with science, scientists, they are always looking for a way to improve our memory, to improve storing information.
also to stop it deteriorating or
Okay, and also to stop it deteriorating, right? What is deterioration? Okay, deteriorating. So scientists are looking for ways to improve our memories and to stop deteriorating the memory, right? Because, you know, we have things like Parkinson, for example, right? Or dementia. And if you have that, you start forgetting things and you don't remember anything, right? So that's why scientists want to stop our memory to deteriorate. Okay, one more part.
becoming worse.
Yes.
Or becoming worse, right? So if it's already bad, they want to avoid it to become worse.
And we all know that memories, that's the noun for things we remember from the past.
Okay, and he says, right, and we all know that memories, so what's memories? The things that we remember from the past, right? So you have your memory, and in your memory you have memories, right? Things that you remember from the past.
Are nice to have.
Right, are nice to have. Of course, it's good to remember. And we finish with this one.
But also important for remembering who people are, where.
Okay, but it's also important to remember what? Who people are, right? You need to remember who people are.
Things are kept. And
where things are kept, it means where you put your things. Okay, you have to remember where you put your things.
And how things look.
And how things look, right? You need to remember the appearance of things. Okay, so in that part, and we finish with that one, then again, Wilson, we are learning about the importance of having a good memory. And in this program, right after that question, they are going to teach us about that. Let me know, please, if you have any questions before finishing with that introduction, Wilson.
The last word was kept.
Kept. Exactly. Where things are kept, right? Where things are kept, which is the past of keep. All right. In other words,
Okay.
it's saying where you are putting your things, where you are keeping your things. You have to remember that.
Yeah, the brain, I think.
Or in general, the real objects, right? Of course, you have to remember in your brain, but you have to remember in real life where you are putting your things, right? That's why they are saying it's always good to have a good memory, to remember people, all right? Because you have to remember people, right? If you find a friend in the street and you say, "Who are you?" Right? That's going to be weird. You have to remember people.
Yeah.
You have to remember where you put your things, right? If you want to wear clothing and you don't remember where you put your sweater, that's going to be a problem, right? You need to remember where you put things, where things are kept. Okay, that's why that's the explanation, the justification that they are giving for this topic. All
Okay.
right. I don't know if you have any final questions or comments, Wilson.
No, I don't have.
All right, there you go. So it means, Wilson, that on Thursday, we're going to keep working with this, okay? We're going to go directly after the question. And in that part, we're going to listen to some scientists telling something about improving our memory. All right, that's what we're going to do. But now we're going to finish here, please, Wilson. Down below, you can find the survey. Let's answer the questions and let me know when you do it, please.
The pool?
Yes, please, the poll.
Poll. Yeah, done. I've done.
Great. So thank you very much for being here. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class, Wilson.
Okay, see you tomorrow, teacher. Bye.
Bye-bye.